Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Whatever time it is, wherever you're coming from, Cowboys Nation, you know the drill. Welcome to the Double XO Show.
What is going on, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the Double XO Show. I'm your host, Zach White, and with me, my colleagues, Cameron Michelle, Daryl Clark. What is going on?
What's up, guys?
What it is.
So how did y'all feel after that loss, man? Because it affected me in a different kind of way. It's preseason, right? Not in Houston. Not in Houston, Texas. It is not preseason. This is the playoffs. This is the damn Super Bowl for them. And I heard about it all week long. They just kept on. I said, you gonna win a Super Bowl with Tyrod Taylor, man? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor? Is that what you're gonna do? It's just it was unbelievably frustrating. Heard it all week long. So that was my wonderful weekend / week. The rest of it. How did y'all's go?
I wish somebody would come at me talking about preseason anything. I wish somebody would hit me on that handle. I dare you.
It was bad.
Come on, man, that's just crazy. It's preseason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't emotionally get. I don't get emotionally wrapped up in anything that goes on the preseason. If this team, right, if it comes away healthy every week,
Yes.
who cares?
Healthy and improving. That's all I care to see in preseason. But there were some great
I had a Cowboys-filled weekend, though, because I went to practice on Friday, and that was fun. And if you guys had, I encourage anybody to get one of those practices. It's just an experience, and it's a lot of fun. And it was good to see them. Yeah, I was there. It was light practice, though, because it was the day before the game, so it was no pads. Right. It was just run through type of stuff. And then I was at the game Saturday night, so that was fun. It was good. Started off and it was like, damn, on that fumble right away. But there were some good things to take away, especially that first half watching our defense.
Did you have any drinks?
I did. Well, okay, so Friday, yes, we were there at the Star and we went to lunch afterwards and we did a little day drinking. Day drinking turned into just drinking, and so I hydrated all Saturday and didn't have any drinks and just took some mental notes and really.
You made adult choices.
I did. I adulted. I adulted well on Saturday night. So yeah.
Time.
Actually got to go have lunch with our good friend Brian Broaddus beforehand and went up to the game and we had a great time and it was fun.
Nice. Speaking of confessions, I'm going to go ahead and throw out my confession. This is the confession segment, and we're just going to tell a confession of this year or the prior year, anything that we think that we were wrong about, a mistake even, and we're going to let it air out because this is about forgiveness, people, and we all deserve forgiveness. But my confession, I'm going to go ahead and start it off. It's the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do, to tell you, Twitter family, that I was wrong about Micah Parsons. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. Micah Parsons, it is what it is. We don't stay in this game thinking that we're going to, when you're evaluating these players, you can only go so far. The All-22 will only let you go so far. You can't account for the players, the heart. You can just see certain things. I thought I saw certain things. I thought I saw a little Jalen-esque type things there. And I was wrong. And I'm happy about it. I'm excited. I want to eat this damn crow, and it's going to taste delicious. Delicious. And I'm going to love every minute of it. Micah Parsons, highest graded linebacker in the preseason. Altogether. That is the type of linebacker that we are getting, and that is just unbelievably exciting. So, that's my confession to all of you. But I like Micah. I think he is going to be phenomenal for this team. I'm very excited about him and his future with us. So, Now it's y'all's turn. I want all the confession, baby. I want the confession. I want it all. Damn near cried when I got that phone call. No, I'm not gonna go dive into that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and shoot for the moon, Cam. What do you got?
Okay, you can be forgiven for yours. I may not be forgiven for mine. Because I've got another linebacker to make a confession about. And it's my real love on this team, Mr. Leighton Vander Esch. And I'm just going to say it.
I knew it.
When we drafted him, I was in love. It was all about it. And here it is. I called him the next Brian Urlacher. It's there. It didn't turn out so well, did it, kids? I mean, and I kind of was even rolling with it after his rookie year. Come on, tell me he's not. And then 2019 and 2020 happened, and guess what? I was wrong.
It's okay.
I was wrong.
It's okay. What is it? Is it an admittance? Or what is it? Admittance is the first step to recovery? Is that what it is? Is that one of the first steps? Yeah.
Yeah.
Admitting that you had a problem.
Yeah. I still have mad love for the man. I have mad love for him.
We're gonna be like holding up signs for you. The intervention.
I will go do a couple Hail Marys and the rosary thing or whatever I need to for this.
Hey man, he still got a chance. Your confession was sad. Your confession was sad. Damn. People crying in here, man.
I know. It's painful. It was painful. Oh, yeah.
Confession Mondays.
That rookie year had me too. Hook, line, and sinker, guys. After that rookie year.
You know what? I want you to. I'm feeling this kind of energy. Get that shit out of here because we got another. I just mentioned the linebacker I'm excited about. I don't want to look back in this video in 2-3 years and be like, damn, I got another confession. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. Daryl Clark.
Hey, bro. Look, first off, I love the segment, but y'all, it has you up here trying to get me to think about the Dallas Cowboys, but when I hear confessions, man.
Wait a minute. Do I need to cue the music? I need to cue the music. Are you ready to confess?
Yeah, I'm ready to confess, man.
There it is.
Just a confession. Look, I have been adamant that I think this team needed a veteran defensive lineman. These last 2 games, though, man, I have been impressed with your boy, OC. Okay, and there have been some going back and looking at some of the the other podcasts, some other stuff that people are posting. These guys are actually doing work. I potentially could see them rolling with this front and not adding that veteran big body in the middle because those 2 rookies, man. Who's the other kid? OC and the who's 75. Who is that?
Osa Adigizua. What's Adigizua? 75.
Yeah.
That's
Adigizua.
Yeah.
Who's the kid that's playing next to him?
Are you talking about Bohanna?
Bohanna.
You're talking about Bohanna.
Yeah. Big boy.
Look, those 2 guys, if you, I watched, and I think I told you guys that in the preseason, I was just going to try to focus on the line, the O-line and the D-line stuff. And looking at those guys play, looking at the penetration and the disruption, which I'm a big, I like seeing penetration, disruption. Those guys are causing it. So my confession, man, is look, this team may be just fine with those young kids in the middle and playing, and I'm excited about it. I'm happy to say that I potentially was wrong.
Man.
And then we're going to add Gallimore back in.
See, he doesn't excite me. I like him, but I love the way those 2 guys. I mean, I haven't seen much from Urban, but those 2 cats, man. I mean, if we're paying attention, they have in spurts. And no one really watches the lines. It's not sexy, right? We all like to see the running backs and receivers and CD and Dak and all those guys. But man, when you learn to train your eyes and you watch, I think Mosher or one of those guys have been posting some stuff all week, just focusing on the D lineman and the
Yes.
just the get off and literally, man, them knifing and getting through gaps have been, I'm talking about impressive.
Bro,
It's been really impressive. So
I
And it's
completely
allowed
agree.
Parsons. It's allowed Parsons
Yeah.
they're eating up blocks.
Yeah.
Right. They're eating
to
up,
his,
gobbling up
yeah.
blocks, which allow, look, our linebackers to look even more healthy. When you think about what's behind them, you think about Jabril, right? And Micah, even Leighton. You keep those guys clean and you got problems. You
Yeah.
keep those three clean and and those guys are gonna eat. Um,
Exactly.
so so yeah, man, like I said, man, I've been awfully impressed, not just this Texans game, but even the Cardinals
In
game.
general.
When
Yeah.
you do some cut ups in general, those guys, I think, man, look, rookies usually they don't flash. We have a bunch of rookies that are flashing, man. That's what
Right.
I'm excited about. They
Right.
are literally flashing.
Yep.
And
That's
that's
I
the first
agree.
thing, right? You got to flash and then you got to work on the consistency.
yes.
But they're flashing, man.
That's the crazy part because I feel like you and I had this conversation not that long ago when we were talking about drafting a D lineman in the first round potentially, and that was our main thing. We were like, we kind of want immediate, right? It takes defensive lineman time to grow, especially at that
Mhm.
defensive tackle or three tech position. It takes time to grow, and wow, I mean, it is preseason. I'm trying not to just chug this damn Kool-Aid right now, but damn, watching Osa, that was probably my favorite part of the night. I'm not gonna lie. I love Micah and everything that he did as well, but just watching, I focused in on him, and my God, man, that initial quickness, and not only
Hmm.
that, he is a hell of a lot more powerful than I thought he was. I saw him carry an offensive lineman, the center, over to the running
Mhm.
back who was damn near on a sweep trying to get outside, basically pushed him outside further so Anai could make a beautiful tackle. But it was so impressive. It was so impressive to see his strength, and he just threw him off of him. And I don't want to go this far. I don't. I'm reserved. I've heard it. I understand kind of where they're coming from. I don't think we're nowhere near that, and I want people to pump the brakes a little bit. But I heard so many Aaron Donald comparisons this week with Osa, and
Wow.
yeah, yeah, very intense. But I think it was more from a standpoint of the physical build, some of the attributes, and I can see that. So I'm not trying to attack those people, but there's something to that. It's early. I definitely don't want to put
It,
that on him,
it is
but
early,
there's
but
something to
yeah.
that. There is. It
Yeah,
really
it,
is.
it, it, it
Yeah.
is early, but here's what I'll say again, man, where I'm noticing, and I'm not saying it's Aaron Donald-ish, but what I am saying is it's hard for a rookie defensive lineman to win with power, which was my
Yes.
concern. This kid, also, he's winning with get off. Now, you
Yeah.
can win with get off and quickness, and then, because you're not letting, players get into you and bull rush you and push you off the line of scrimmage. And again, that's what you're seeing from him. I would love Z, maybe Z and Cam, we should just do a cut up of him, of all his snaps. And I'll
Yep.
guarantee it. I wonder what his grade is, his PFF grade is, but I am telling you, man, he wins a lot with that
He
get off and
wins.
that hand placement. Those two things, he gets his hands quick and he shoots. And I'm like, whoa,
Yes.
I wasn't expecting that from him,
Yes.
but I'm impressed by
It's
it.
stuff. It's stuff we haven't seen out of Tristan Hill. Not anywhere close.
No.
And you've got to wonder what his future is
I don't know if
if
we're gonna
these
see
cats
it.
have come up. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
I
mean,
mean, I well, there's no room for him
yeah.
at this point.
I mean, it's always good to have depth, especially with the Gallimore injury. But I don't even know. I don't know if we're gonna see him
But
take
he's
the
not
field.
depth being
I
on
don't know.
pup.
Yeah,
He's not depth being on pup.
yeah.
So
What was his timetable for return? Do y'all know? I never heard anything about that. You haven't heard anything about him, really. Honestly,
mm-mm,
he's not been a factor for us. I mean, as far as being concerned or anything. But I do have to say this before we jump on into everything else. Dara, I was really disappointed with your confession scene. I'm not gonna lie to you. When it kicked off, not with your confession in general, but when I started hearing the do 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 do, I thought I was gonna get some you was straight. Yeah, so this is my confession, and it's I want more fire. I need more energy from you, sir. What was that? I want to know you feel wrong. I want to know that you feel
I was
wrong.
full of remorse.
Yeah. Well, yours was sad. Yours was really sad. I wasn't. It was too much remorse. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that either. Jeez, that's okay. We're gonna continue
Hey, man,
this.
look,
We are
the
gonna
reason
continue
you didn't-
confessions.
The reason you didn't see it is, man, like, look, Usher was sad that he had to tell his girl that he had a chick on the side and wanted away. I'm like, I was happy to be wrong. I didn't want her anyway. She got on my goddamn nerves anyway. Look, I was running to confess. I was wrong. I was wrong. I got one on the side.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. It's the best show ever. Okay, so back into the Texans game. Another thing that I noticed, we're talking about all these good things that we saw, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Another thing is, and Dan Quinn wasn't in the building, right? It was Joe. It was Joe,
and didn't even know. You know,
Yeah.
if you were there, you had no idea.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Yeah.
we had Joe Witt Jr. out there basically, or he was coaching for the defense, but and it kind of showed, and I don't know if that was because Dan Quinn was not there or what was going on, but when I'm rewatching some of the film, and I noticed at one point there's only 10 guys on the field when Ingram busts off an 8-yard run, and it looks bad because I'm looking at the line, I'm looking at everybody's play. Jalen's not getting off blocks. LVE he over pursuits or under pursuits really, and then I'm just looking. I'm like, something don't look right about this. This looks like there's not enough people over here, and there's more Texans over here. What is going on? And sure enough, there's only 10 guys on the field now. It's preseason, and this is where we learn, and I understand that. But as a whole, it wasn't just that. It was as a whole, it looked a little sloppy for those first few series on both sides of the ball, really. And I know it's hard, especially when it's that first series when they're backed up damn near against the goal line. But you can still see Dan Quinn's thumbprint on some of this, on some of these formations, and to see Micah Parsons blitzing right directly on top of the center, and then to see your defensive tackles spread out. I believe that was Osa on one side and maybe Armstrong on the other side. No, it wasn't Armstrong.
No, it couldn't be Dorrance. He was an end.
No, it was another
Was
guy.
it Brent? Was it Urban?
But your two ends were standing up. Armstrong was standing up on the outside, and Gregory was standing up on the outside. I think about that, and I think of putting D. Law over there and
Right.
Armstrong, and it's beautiful. And I loved seeing what Micah Parsons could do when it came to that, because he wasn't always coming, straight up the middle. He wasn't always blitzing. He dropped back into coverage, and he looked good doing that. He looked good blitzing. I mean, he was manhandling. There was a couple times where he was slinging the center around, man, and he was just God.
Yeah.
It was. He got sandwiched at one point in time and took off and still damn near caught Tyrod Taylor on the sideline, disrupted the play. It's just the whole thing feels. It feels good. It feels like a turnaround.
Right.
Again, this is preseason. It was the Texans. Sorry, Texans. But it was still impressive, and it gave me hope. I really do think this defense is in the process of turning around. And if I'm being honest, another confession for me,
Ooh.
and it's back to the same guy. It's back to the same damn guy. I feel like Micah Parsons is not only is he physically able to change the game for us, but mentally. I feel like he has this energy. He's coming in with such a bright energy, and he's fun, and he's swarming around the ball, and everybody else around him is having fun because of it. I love that. I love that energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a culture change, because last year, I mean, these people everybody's head was down. Everybody was sad. Nobody was happy. Nobody was happy with the defensive coordinator.
The hot boys were cold boys.
They were cold. They were cold
boys.
And to see this new
I'm
energy,
gonna ask you guys something.
It's nice to see.
Check this out. Remember the whole NASCAR package that, you know what I mean, that we had? Imagine a package where you have Law and Gregory as your ends. You got
Yes.
Parsons, okay? Or you would slide Law down on the inside and Parsons on the outside, but you have one D lineman. That's it. You have one D lineman. Behind them, you got Jabril and LVE. And then you have your nickel, right? Where you have Hooker and KZ, okay, on the field with, I mean, dude, come on, man. On those third and long into the half, that is speed to burn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That ball is going to come out, and you still got more linebackers behind the Parsons that can cover, right? And take running backs around. Man, you could do so much with
It's
that.
beautiful.
You could do so freaking much with that. I bet you we see a package with one D lineman just to get those linebackers on the field.
Yep.
We're going to see
Yep.
packages where we have, four linebackers, man, on the field,
Yeah.
right? I just
Mhm.
there I am looking forward to what Quinn does creatively to get all this talent because you don't keep that on the sideline. You just don't.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
right? I you got to find a way to get Cox. I mean, that guy is an animal in passing down situations.
Yep.
He's an animal.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
He and
I don't know. I'm
Parsons
pretty
were the
excited.
two highest graded rookie defensemen this week. He and Parsons were the two highest. So
Yeah.
Gonna
you
give
know,
him a
and
lot
one
to
thing
play
that
with.
yeah. And one thing that was really great that I noticed, like as a whole with this defense, is that you had to, okay, once again, it was the Texans and it was preseason. But we didn't have Dan Quinn and we didn't have D Law. And we held their ones to 7 points that first half. And they got that 7 points because our offense put them in that situation.
Yes.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
very good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
It was a good
The
thing.
only thing I think we got to be concerned about, look, the pieces I think on this team, offensively and defensively, are there. I got to say though, I am worried about that. All these pieces haven't played and played with each other for a series or two or a quarter, and it has to gel real quickly. And oh, by the way, you got the Bucks to come out and try to gel against, but
Right.
individual pieces, man. Though, to me, the defense excites me more than the offense. For me, I'm a defensive guy, though. I love the way these pieces potentially are going to perform and come together and play. I love the pieces, and if they get this thing right and stay healthy, like I said, that sort of bold prediction for me is I think they're gonna be a top 10 defense. I think they're going to be around there 9, 10. If these pieces stay healthy, that's where I think they're going to be.
God, wow. Confession? You want me to put on the, hold on, wait. Put on the music. Put on the music. You think what? I got you playing, hold on. Go ahead.
But look, I don't think that's going to be
No.
anything that we were wrong about.
Wait,
That's a
no.
bold prediction.
Okay, well, this is a confession. No, this is a good confession. So you have good and bad confession. The music is playing. You're seeing it out on the screen. It's you by yourself. Tell me. What'd you say? Oh,
We are gonna have, if these pieces stay healthy, we're gonna have a top 10 defense. We are.
boom! God, Jesus, I love that.
And
I love the
and at the end of this
excitement.
season,
I do.
I'm going to make y'all roll back to our prediction show.
Mm.
And remember when someone called someone Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Oh, okay. You just trying to
Oh,
take all the credit for that? Like,
I,
just trying to
yeah,
take all
I
the credit?
am. I pretty much think I said he was going to lead the team in sacks, and he was going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. And
Now, I don't
you
know
know
if he
what?
leads this team in sacks with Gregory and Law on there, but
We'll see.
he's gonna be an animal.
We'll see.
Damn, we're going back.
I don't
this
want my
episode.
linebacker.
This
I don't
episode,
want my
we're gonna.
linebacker leading my team in sacks, but we ain't gonna. Beggars can't be choosers, right? But
I'll take what I can
I
get.
tell you what, you know what's funny
I'm
though?
going.
If Parsons winds up leading this team in sacks, woo, you want a confession? D-Law can confess his ass right on out of town.
That's true.
If Parsons winds up leading this team in sacks, D-Law is not going to be around at that salary.
And give me that draft capital and that extra pick.
You think so? I don't. I think
Oh,
it depends on how well he does. I mean, if Dean, I would love to see a 10+ sack season from D.
You're going to have to, Z.
Yeah.
You're going to have
No,
to. At
because it's-
$25 million, and people say,
But that's not
look,
all
sacks
of the game.
don't be all- But I hear you. But Z, you don't pay a DN. You can't even name another one making that kind of money who has 5 or 6 sacks. You can't even name one. I dare you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we do have to see more from him this year. I agree with you. I agree with you, and I think if we don't, then that is a problem. This got real negative real quick, guys. This got really negative. You know what? If we're gonna stay negative, let's talk about Ben DiNucci's ass. Let's go ahead and talk about Ben DiNucci.
Oh.
Why?
I don't have a take
He's
like
gone.
you guys, but go ahead. Go ahead. I know you guys don't like Ben DiNucci.
When is the next cut?
What is there to like about? I mean, he's probably a lovely human being.
Is he? I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to
Now we busted my
find.
brother's just. Dallas Twitter don't play. We ain't that mama.
I carried him out of the stadium with a free sign on him and put him on the curb.
I just thought it was funny. I thought it was so funny. Somebody posted a tweet of him saying that Tony Romo was trash, and everybody just jumped on him, and I was just like, oh, it's karma. It really is. It really is. Maybe he lands on a practice squad somewhere. When is the next cut day? Is it tomorrow? Is it Tuesday?
Yes, we cut 5 tomorrow, and then the next Tuesday is Bloodbath Day.
There's no way that DiNucci. Why would you keep him to give him a chance against Jacksonville? I don't see it. But then we're talking about, switching lanes into the quarterback realm. We're talking about Cooper Rush having a really good game, right? So there's talks about that. Mike McCarthy saying, and he's out there practicing with the ones today, right? So Mike McCarthy saying, hey, he's earned his chance. He deserves his chance. I'm not opposed. I think Garrett Gilbert did have a really bad game, but I think it's a little too early to jump on that. Maybe they're probably going to let him battle it out on against Jacksonville on Sunday. I really do feel like that's the case. I do. If you see,
and the only thing I want DiNucci doing is warming up wide receivers if he's still on this team tomorrow. That's all he needs to do is in pregame warm up wide receivers and then never see the field again.
Here's the deal.
I will say this. Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I will say this though. Look, man, none of us. Look, do I think DiNucci is he's obviously not a starter. He's not even a quality QB2. But again, man, if I'm being honest, can I see the little snippets of what a guy like McCarthy would see in a 7th round project? He's a project. I mean, the kid's athleticism is crazy. You know what I mean? If he would learn to embrace like his true gifts. Now, he makes bad decisions, right? And he has funky mechanics. He's not our backup. You know what I mean? He isn't QB2, but could I see him stashed on the practice squad to develop another year and keep at it? Yeah, because the quarterback position of any position on the field, you guys know, that's the hardest one to find any semblance of talent. And so if you see a guy flash something, then it becomes a matter of can you consistently get him to do it. And I tell you, man, he's athletic, though. He's athletic as hell. And as this league changes and you're seeing more and more, the days of that dinosaur statue, 6'5", 230 quarterback, 7-step drop, sit in the pocket, those days is dead, dog. If your quarterback can't move. So I do see that. I see that they recognize that in DiNucci, and maybe that's the thing that Mike McCarthy is trying to develop. The other stuff is painful to watch, but I can see that they like that in him.
We're sorry.
I tried.
Did you see our
I
entire
tried.
offensive line?
Go.
Kellen Moore, when he threw that 3rd interception, I mean, Zach Martin was like
the whole sideline, man. Right.
It's
3.
bad.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to keep him on the practice squad,
and Z, I'm not saying we should. What I'm saying is I could see what they see in him. Like I could see the thing that maybe wants to hang on to him as a project to keep him on a practice squad.
It feels like you're Rose right now on that raft, and you're just watching Jack just slip into the water. You just
that
just let him go.
Is like a
it's done, son.
Gremlin.
Let his ass sink into the bottom of the ocean. Quit trying to hold his damn hand. Let him go. Let him go. We don't need him. I'm worried about. Are we even going to hold 3? Are we going to keep 3 quarterbacks on this team? No, just 2.
Yeah. Well,
Just 2.
yeah.
May the best man win. I want the other guy, and they
Right.
probably won't make it, but maybe the other guy gets stashed. I over Benjamin.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you're saying
Yeah,
would
because
you
we
keep
need that
Cooper?
spot between wide receivers and
Here's the deal.
corners.
If
Yeah,
we're, if
you're
we're
going long on O line, D
secondary.
line. Who would you keep in the practice squad? Cooper or DiNucci on the practice squad? Who would you keep?
Cooper, because of COVID protocol, is going to let us
100%.
this year.
100. He's a
I
better.
would
He's
keep
a better
DiNucci.
quarterback.
Now here,
He's
I
a
would
better
keep
quarterback.
DiNucci on the practice squad.
Ah, no.
I would
Yeah.
keep DiNucci on the practice.
That's
Cooper
crazy.
is his dude. Here's why though. On the practice squad, I think with some of the, I mean, who is Cooper?
So our
Look,
corners can get interceptions.
No,
on
no.
the
Listen,
practice
hold on.
squad?
Listen, guys. Who you have your practice squad quarterback not only out there for his development, but you're also replicating or giving them looks about what they're going to face during the season. Who the hell is Cooper going to emulate? Who are we playing? Ryan Fitzpatrick? Dude, we're facing the Jalen Hurts. You know, you're facing very athletic, mobile quarterbacks. DiNucci gives you a better look in practice for our defense than Cooper Rush does. He does.
Here's the deal.
He gives them a better look.
You do have a point to some extent. To some extent, some small extent, I agree. But my main thing is I don't really give a shit. Whoever they want to keep on the practice squad, that's practice squad. I mean, if you see something, I would like to see like Mukiami maybe make the practice squad. Hopefully, a guy like that, because I don't think he's going to make this roster. We're going to get into all that projection
Agree.
probably next week. But if that goes down again, the season's over. So I don't really give a shit who's back.
It's not. I don't buy that.
I do.
See, I don't buy that.
I do. I tried to play the game last year. Maybe we got a chance. We got Andy Dalton. It's just not. If he's down, I just don't see it. I mean, if you want to win a few games, like if he's out for a few games, that's one thing. But if he's gone for the season, if Dak's not in, I just don't see it. I don't see it. We played that game last year.
No, you didn't. You didn't play that game last year. No, you didn't, because you didn't just lose your quarterback, Z. You lost your entire starting line.
Right.
And that literally is not the same thing. If you got a healthy line, now, you don't get a lot of quarterbacks that's better than Dak, but come on, man. Last year was a total shit show in terms of injuries.
This also brings up, just like last year, are you team cancel or are you team culture? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to be like the Washington football team, maybe make it in the playoffs and get stomped out in the first round by Tom Brady? I mean, what do you plan to do with that? As if I want a backup quarterback to win me a few games. If my quarterback goes down with an illness, if he's sick, if he's hurt, that's your job. I want you to win me a few games. Other than that, I don't really. I mean, I don't want to see you for a whole season. Nobody does. Everybody wants to see.
I mean, this is the NFL, bro. This is the NFL. I mean, explain the year that New England lost Brady to an ACL tear, and they took Matt Castle and went like 11-5 or 10-6. Come on, bro. Come on, Mike. You're opening up another
comparing Mike
can of
McCarthy
worms.
to Bill Belichick?
That's what I'm saying. We supposedly have, and you guys know I can already see Cam's face. I'm not a McCarthy fan because, again, if it takes for your team to be, tell me when everything is ever 100%, like you got every person that's healthy and you face no adversity. But if we got this supposed Super Bowl coach, he shouldn't need things to be ideal for us to have hope as a fan base. And what we see in those really good other coaches, they're able to overcome to some extent. And it's like, dude, I know the NFL is going to be, the NFL, it's always something. Overcome some shit, bro. And by the way, here was the shade tweet of the weekend. I think one of the Dallas reporters tweeted it, and I'm like, yep, it's true. We haven't seen that one clean thing from Mike McCarthy since he's been here. Nothing has been clean with him. They've never had a clean game. They've never, done anything to where, what is his stamp, by the way? What's Mike McCarthy's stamp? What have we seen from him that makes us go, yeah, that's the guy? Tell me what he's done that makes us go, yeah, he's a great NFL coach. I'll wait.
Hopefully it was he hired Dan Quinn.
Excuse me. We smashed some damn watermelons okay, in the oblivion. All right, so don't talk to me about stamps. We put a damn stamp on them watermelons right out the gate. No, I get where you're coming from. I do. It is concerning, but I think we're all kind of there right now, and I think it showed itself when we are all more excited about the Dan Quinn hire, and obviously that has everything to do with our defense and being where it was, and we wanted to be better. But it's also an energy, and you feel that energy. You see that energy from coaches, and that's something that Dan Quinn has. I don't think anybody is super excited about Mike McCarthy, but that's a conversation for another time. We'll reevaluate this. I know you already fired him as a GM on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I sure did.
Yeah, you sure did.
He got punted.
Oh, Daryl Jones.
He wasn't fired. He was punted.
Daryl Jones dropped his ass. I get it. I do. I get it. There is some concern there, and we need to see more. This is a prove it year in general. This is a prove it year. You got to come out and you got to make a statement. I want to see these guys playing hard. I want to see them running around the ball. I want to see them making big plays. I need to see that from this team because it just feels like there's so many great pieces. It's just about putting them together and making them work. We got finally, hopefully, a healthy Dak this year. We got probably the best, if not one of the best, talented wide receiver groups in the league. You have probably, and I'll say this, and I don't care if I get blasted for it or not. Now, I feel like with what we have in our linebacking group, it's going to be impressive. It's going to be impressive with the level of talent that you have to rotate at those positions. It's impressive. I do agree that we probably need to see a little bit more of, hey, stick to your linebackers, because there has been a lot of rotation between LVE and Jalen and Micah and Neil, and there's just been a lot of movement there, and I think we all want to see a little bit more consistency. But again, it's preseason. I think he's trying to figure it out. But I'm still very happy. I'm excited about these linebackers. I really am. I think that's another really good group. There's just really good pieces. There's so many good pieces. It's about making them gel, creating a winning culture, and that's something that not Dan Quinn, I think, is already damn near came in and proved it. That's something that Mike McCarthy needs to prove this year.
I think he has a lot. Man. I know we started. Zach, I don't know how we. I think I took us there, but my apologies. But you were talking about the quarterback thing, and it's not DiNucci I'm going to focus on. I don't get, and maybe you guys can answer this for me, because Dallas Twitter is crazy. I don't see Cooper Rush and Gilbert as even close. I love what Gilbert has flashed and shown as a QB2. And again, guys, I think he's not a starter. Okay, the difference between a starter and and a backup is consistency and a lot of other things. So I know that he's flawed, but how anyone can even think that someone off from another squad at this point can come in and learn our offense, the verbiage, the timing with the players, and be productive or better than a guy like Gilbert is beyond me. And the thing that guys I have with Rush. The issue I have with him, and again, if you watch him, his ball flutters. I don't think he has a strong arm outside the numbers. I think he can throw between the numbers just fine. But, think about it. He's got cut as a backup from the Giants. What makes you think he can come be the backup here? He had a chance to be Dak's backup. He couldn't hold on to that job. We've seen this show. We've seen this movie. I don't understand where we're at or what we're doing and why everybody is up in arms about Cooper Rush because he played semi-decent against the Texans.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from on that as well. He had a good game. He made some really good throws. I will say that. He made some really good throws. He had a good game. And Garrett Gilbert had a bad game. He did. And it's
and they were both behind a very healthy and they were playing behind a healthy line.
So can we
listen to Twitter.
Can we say that he had a bad 2 series? Can we say he had a bad series? Or are we going to say he had a bad game? Come on, guys. He played 2 series.
Exactly.
No, you're right.
He had a bad series.
Yeah. No, he did. He did. But the things that gets focused on. He tripped. He fell. it's a big deal. It's a big deal to everybody, right? Not to us necessarily, but it's a big deal to everybody watching. Oh my God! When I was watching that game, I was watching at a buddy's house. Few fans there freaking out. Oh my God, he's a piece of shit. Whatever. Like it happens. It's an overreaction. We understand that's a lot of what Twitter is too. If you haven't noticed, there's a trend on Twitter, right? It's week to week. It's week to week. You can love somebody one week and you're gonna hate them the next. Connor Williams throwing around Aaron Donald. Everybody, oh my God, he's the next coming of whatever. You know, he's gonna be the greatest center ever. And then the week after, he got 2 botched snaps. Everybody hates it. Get rid of him. Fire him. He doesn't belong on the team. Cut him. It's always extremists. So you got to block out that and decipher what is real. And and realistically, Cooper Rush did have a good game. You can't really call it a quarterback battle. I think he did earn a little bit of rights for having such a good game to at least get some reps with the ones and see what he can do. I think they want to evaluate that. I don't know. Maybe try and get a little trade off of him. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that necessarily. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, and I think ultimately we all know that it's going to be Garrett Gilbert. It's felt like that. It felt like that last year. You know, even when he came in and played the Steelers, and he played pretty well in that game as well. It's to me the thing that concerns me about Cooper Rush is when you watch him. He holds on the ball too long. He holds on the ball too long, and he doesn't have great mobility. And it's just that watching that was frustrating. I will say that. There was multiple times, and I can't see downfield, so I don't know what he's looking at. You got some pretty good receivers out there. I can't imagine they're all covered up. It happens. But, I mean, there was one point where he had a wide open lane, and he could have took off running, or he could have made a pass, whatever. He had plenty of time, and he just sat there and waited, and he got sacked. I need to see more from him. I do. I need to see more from him. We need to see more from him.
But Z, here's where we got to temper our expectations, and here's what's not fair. How do you develop an internal clock as a quarterback? In practice or by game reps, right? Because it's 2 different things. Right. So when we see that in the game, you should expect that. These guys don't. You got to get snaps. So unless you bring a guy in here who has 15 years of starter experience, a John Kitna, remember he didn't have that issue when he was a backup because he had 10, 12 years as a starter. He had developed an internal clock. But we're talking about young cats. Gilbert, that dude had never been a starter in the NFL. He has what, 1 game NFL experience, but we expect for him to come into a game-like setting and have an internal clock? Come on, man. It's just sometimes I don't think our football intellect kicks in that we just, we get over the top. This is when you develop those skills as a quarterback in a game. And like I said, if we do this for 2, and this is why I said Cooper Rush, his ceiling we've seen, he's been around and did this for 4 years or so, right? I know what his ceiling is. You don't know what Gilbert's is. I like that kid, man. I see him every now and again. You see him throw the ball with accuracy and anticipation. And I think those are 2 great QB skill sets. And I think that tells you that he understands the offense and trust and understand timing with players. That second possession, and I'll tell you again, and you guys go back and watch, the second possession that Gilbert was in, the first throw of the second possession that he made to CD, that's what makes him better than Cooper.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Right? Yeah. I mean, anyway. I'm a Gilbert fan.
I'm going to play the other side of the coin, though. You've got 2 quarterbacks that are getting plugged into, and we can pretty much agree this is a very elite offense. Yes. And they had all the tools. They had in a healthy O-line. They had all our wide receivers. They didn't have Zeke, but, you had Pollard there. It's their time to shine, and they need to get with it and show us exactly what it is. And no, we're not going to keep them to a starter standard. We're not that. But we need to see that they can run that team down the field.
That they can handle it. That it's
and
not
I think
big
and I think one of them
Right.
did, and one of them didn't in the game on Saturday. So we'll see what happens this Sunday.
Yeah.
I want to see Cooper do that against a starting defense because he didn't play against Texans once. For what he came in with the series, he came in the 3rd series. They
I think
had
I think there was 2
And they
series, I
still,
believe.
him in that third series.
yeah,
Yeah, did they
Yeah.
play the
yeah.
entire first half? Cam, what did Cooper do that impressed you?
No,
What did Cooper Rush do? Hold on, Cam, what did Cooper Rush do in that game that was impressive to you? Like, I mean, you're like, wow, he deserves to. Just tell me a thing he did.
No, there. I mean, no. I can't tell you there was a big flash or anything that it was like, holy crap, that was fantastic whatsoever. And you did take the one thing that I did see of Gilbert was that throw to CD was fantastic. But to me, Gilbert, I don't know if it was a flustered thing in the very beginning, what was going on, but it didn't feel like he had command. And you went from him tripping to a strip sack. I mean, he went what 4 for 6, 70 yards in that short period in time, and
I'm too serious.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, but
it
he didn't.
didn't
He
feel
didn't
like
trip. By the way, he
anything.
got stepped on.
Well,
Zach Martin
I
stepped
know
on.
from Zach, I know he stepped on him, but I
Yeah.
just I think there was a lot of nerves, a whole lot of nerves, and it showed in that performance.
yeah, I think
And it wasn't a strip sack. I meant a strip fumble, right? Wasn't it? So.
it was the nerves.
Oh.
I think so too. I think it was the nerves, man. I just I think what impressed me the most about Cooper Rush is that the moment didn't really look too big for him. It looked
Yes.
smooth. It looked smooth. He looked like he was relaxed, like he was comfortable, and it was showing. He was moving the ball downfield. He made some pretty good throws. There was a few good throws that I can recall. There's one where he threw a rope and threw it on a rope, and I was just like, that was a
Yeah.
pretty.
In
Yeah.
between the numbers to the who was that to the
I'm
tight
trying to
end? Who
remember
was that
that.
to?
I'm trying to remember.
Was
I
it
think
to
it was
I want to say it
Jarwin?
was
I
Jarwin.
think it was to Jarwin.
It was
I think it
Jarwin.
was Jarwin.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was
Yeah.
a couple good throws that he made, and I was actually really impressed by the throws. I was like, man, that's a pretty nice arm. That's some good arm
Yeah.
strength.
Yeah.
But again, it's just we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, it's there may be a little bit to it. And you're talking. This is preseason. There's not that eternal clock development. I get that, but this is not the only team he's been on. This is not the only preseason games he's ever played in. I mean, you have to. That's the thing that's hard for these guys who are trying to just make a squad is they don't have they've got limited reps. They don't have the amount of reps, so you got to take advantage of the moments that you do get, and you got to figure it out quick. And if they don't see it, we don't see it, the coaches don't see it, you're gone. And that's the end of your
You know what
career.
you just
so.
said? You know another reason that quarterback sort of hangs on and keeps his eyes downfield? You just said it, Zach. These guys also know that they're in competition. He wants to make a play.
Yeah.
Okay. He wants to make a
Right.
play and throw the ball downfield. He doesn't want to throw the ball away. That's why you see these guys trying to prove themselves and forcing the issue. And sometimes they make even DiNucci, right? He's trying to make a play, man. He's trying to fight for his career and his livelihood. They don't want to do what a Dak would do. Throw the ball away. It ain't sexy. Dak ain't got to worry about that stuff. These guys do. They're trying to earn a roster spot. So again, in a vacuum, I get it. But in the bigger picture, sometimes the root cause is man, these guys, yeah, they don't have internal clocks. They're holding on to the ball. They're keeping their eyes downfield. You know what would be worrisome is if you saw them take their eyes from downfield and like fold and drop to the ground. That's not what you want to see. But man, if you hold the ball too long because you're keeping and you get sacked, I'm like, hey, I get it. To me, it shows competitiveness. It shows me that you're trying to force the issue because you understand your place on the roster. I get those kind of things. So.
Yeah, I get it. We spent way too long on these backup quarterbacks, by the way. We spent way
You're right.
too long.
We hope that we don't see them on the field
We
during
hope
regular
we do
season
not.
True.
at all.
Yes.
True.
Yes. But some really good conversations. I know, and I don't want to stay too long on this, and we've already covered a lot of it. But another young linebacker who had a really good game, Jabril Cox, man. He was out there making some plays, and my goodness, it's impressive. And at some point in time this season, I think we're going to see him on the field. I don't know what capacity. I don't know if it's going to be some special packages. I think we really see him on the field. He's just got that kind of talent, and it's not only that he's got the talent, he's starting to put it together. He's starting to finally everything's starting to click. When you go back to the Hall of Fame game, I just wasn't seeing it as much, and even I believe even Broadus mentioned it. Even in practice, you just weren't seeing enough. You weren't seeing enough from him. There wasn't enough talk about him, And it's starting to feel, though, that you're starting to see this talent finally. Like, it's now he's starting to get in his head what he needs to do, where he needs to go. He's more comfortable, and he's a playmaker. And that's exciting to me.
I'm telling you guys, you mark my words, you're going to see Jabril and LVE with Parsons on the field in nickel situations and things like that. There's going to be a package where you see those three linebackers in obvious, passing situations. They're going to take a D lineman off and bring a linebacker on. And you're going to see those three on the field. I'll guarantee it. And Neal's going to come off. Neal's not coming. It's going to be LVE and Cox, and you're going to blitz Parsons. Guarantee it. Parsons and Law in the middle. They're coming at you. Yeah. Right? And, so we'll see.
That's pretty. We like
that.
Yes,
it is. Yes, it is.
Yep.
And one more thing, and I want to, I guess, just basically all but kill this because it's just kind of feeling like that's where it's going. I thought at some point in time that, and it's still possible at some point in time this season it could happen, but I thought the two Connors were in a little bit more of a battle this year, as far as the starting five on there. But I just get a feeling what we saw with the starting five coming out the gate last week against the Texans is what we're going to see. It's going to be Connor Williams back at the left guard, Biotish in the center, and maybe that changes eventually with McGovern, but I don't see it right now. I think they're going to roll, especially for the first few games of the season, they're going to roll with what makes them comfortable. They're going to roll with Anthony Brown, right? They're going to roll with what we've had as starters, and they're just trying to find their comfort level and see how much they can trust these guys. They're going to give them a little leeway, and then, until they break it, then things could change. But I think they know all along, like, how they're going to set things up. They want to be comfortable and confident.
I agree with you, Z.
Yeah, I was going to point out Curse had himself a great game too, and that was really good to see back there.
That was interesting too because he was on there at the same time. He was on the field at the same time that KZ and Donovan Wilson were on the field, and I was like, okay, there's something to this. This is interesting to see. I think, he's another guy. I think he's carved out a spot on this team. I find it hard for anybody else to be able to try and take that position. I know Izzy was one of those guys. It's starting to slowly slip away, though. That's starting to slowly slip away. That's starting to feel more like a practice squad stash, and hopefully it gets there. But it's starting to feel like that. But that's going to be next week's episode. We're going to cut down our predictions for the final 53, who makes this squad. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. As always, like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends. Share. It's a good damn show. You don't want to miss it. You got this guy over here giving weak confessions and trying to keep Ben DiNucci, and it's just...
And we're going to pray for him.
We're going to pray. He could make the practice squad, though.
He got to call his wife and tell him he got another. It's Ben DiNucci.
I got broad shoulders. Come on. I can take it.
The way of the world, baby. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, we are out.